Rev, the Republicans have to come up with some organized response to income inequality. You can't just say, let's leave it to the free market. I just think that's too loose an answer. And I think there is a problem in America. And I know it goes against everything I stand for and believe in, but you're in the business of winning elections. And I think winning elections takes messaging. And I think the messages of just let the free market do what the free market does and everybody falls where they may, I think is too loose an answer to a problem that most people believe we've got to address and deal with. And I'm not certainly for socialism or what some on the left say. I just think there's got to be some getting off point. And I think Republicans need to understand that. In essence, it's some of Trumpism. I'd love to hear somebody's opinion much smarter than I, and we happen to have somebody this morning who obviously, we've had a lot of people who are much smarter than I on this phone, but Brian Kilmeade, who is a host of Fox and Friends.
The Brian Kilmeade.
And an author is with us this morning. Brian, good morning. How are you?
Thanks so much for having me on, guys. I appreciate it. That's a conversation that they're having at the highest level at Wall Street. And there was a conversation, it was about 2 months ago, where some of the most successful CEOs and financial institutions, led by Jamie Dimon, were talking openly about that. And they say income inequality is a huge problem. And what is wrong with looking at capitalism and continuing to massage it and make it better to respond to the global times? And listen, to work hard, wages are beginning to come up. The numbers weren't budging for about 15 years. They're starting to come up now. Well, let's figure out why. I mean, it's not just executive pay that's too high, perhaps. Maybe there's other things that could be done to make sure people have that opportunity. And you know why? You know who wants the income inequality somewhat measured? Rich people. Because they're going, listen, I'm getting too much money here. And I'm seeing it's concentrated in too small of an area. It doesn't mean hand it out like Andrew Yang. It doesn't mean give baby bucks because your parents don't have much money. That's not the way to do it. There's a way to work within the free market system, and it's got to be done without politicians, with people who want to solve the problem, not win elections. So I don't have the answer. I love that you think I might, but I would love to see our capitalism continue to grow in a way that responds to the challenges of this century, as opposed to the 1880s or the 1780s or 1980. So let's work on it. Let's not vilify people. Everyone just wants to blame people for everything.
Well said. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. Let's get to, I've read your book, Thomas Jefferson, The Tripoli Pirates. I've not read the book on Andrew Jackson, but if I had two political heroes, those would be the two political heroes I most kind of relate to. I can see some similarities in Andrew Jackson and Donald Trump and what we're dealing with today. But you've always taken some of these interesting and consequential figures in early American history, Jefferson, Andrew Jackson, and now Sam Houston, and the Alamo Avengers is your latest book. Kind of tell us what motivated and what we can expect to find out when we purchase and read Sam Houston and the Alamo Avengers.
Well, I mean, I just want to tell another part of America's story that makes us exceptional. And people just say, okay, we grew up and I'm in these states, and how do we get in those states? And is this story going to be on my test on Monday? So I'm going to move on. Well, how America began to grow and grab the West, I think, is a fascinating story. In Texas, they believe Texas came in the Louisiana Purchase, and there was some dispute about what actually was packaged with us with Napoleon and the Spanish and the problems he was having. And Jefferson says, no, we have Texas. Jackson says, we have Texas. And because it was such a complicated relationship, we took the easy way out. And we said, if you just give us Florida, Spain, I'll just give you Texas. Well, when they got Texas, a lot of people were angry, and they couldn't populate it. Well, how the hell did we get people there? Were we able to settle it? And what happened that made us grab a gun to fight for it? And that's what I tried to do, not just tell you about those great heroes at the Alamo, to show you that sometimes you don't win in life, but how you fight defines who you are. And that's what we see as 180 people, for 13 days, hold off as many as 3,000 and kill over 1,000 Mexicans, many of which were their elite forces. But what happened after and before, I just thought that was a story that people outside of Texas can embrace, because most of the people came from outside to go to Texas to fight there.
Brian, in my time in Columbia, when I was in state politics, I remember walking around the State House grounds, and everybody had a sword. Everybody had a gun. When we think of American political leaders today, we don't think of war heroes. We don't think of fighters and generals. Is it fair to say that there's a misunderstanding about early generation politicians and their willingness to be on the battlefield and the necessity, honestly, like Sam Houston being actually on the battlefield, doing battle on behalf of a newfound country.
Yeah, those guys are crazy. They actually were in front. So Sam Houston got shot off his horse twice in the defining battle of San Jacinto. When he was an officer in 1814, the Battle of Horseshoe Bend, he got shot 3 times. One of his wounds didn't even heal. So he was a fearless guy, but he learned that courage has got to be calculated. He also learned the country was fragile when he watched Washington burn to the ground, and he would keep that in the back of his mind the rest of his life. But I do think, I know we're in a different time right now, but I do feel better. Every veteran that comes back and decides to serve, I feel better about our country because they've already proven that they care more about the country than themselves by joining the military on a volunteer level. And then they want to go back. When they go to Congress, the whole thing's supposed to be about service. You're not supposed to get famous. You're not supposed to get rich. You're not supposed to give your friends big jobs. You're supposed to go in there and think, from what I know, from what I've acquired, I think I can help my state, my city, my town. So I think I should do it. And you tell your family, we're going to tighten up our belts. You're not going to make a lot of money, but we're going to, and I'm going to work 7 days a week, but I'm going to try to make my state better in some way. I mean, I feel good about.
The name of the book is Sam Houston and the Alamo Avengers. The author is Brian Kilmeade. Brian, how can people find the book? Where can they purchase it? Give us some kind of logistics of making that purchase.
Well, if you just go to BrianKilmeade.com, it'll go to my local bookstore, and I could personalize it for anybody for the holidays. It's kind of like I like to do in the fall because people like to get it for gifts. Because it's that the signed book shows I'm not giving you a gift that's too good, but I made an effort to get something personalized for you. So I just think that if you like American history and want to know a little bit more, want to make sure it's accurate, I think this might be a story outside of Texas that maybe you didn't grow up with that you would probably be heartened to find out about.
Brian, thank you for your time. Good luck with the book. We will see you down the road.
Thanks so much.